Hello again, YouTube. This is Chris. Today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how to use Cain and Abel, which is a great hacking tool. This is for my ethical hacking course, and I, of course, don't condone the use of this program for anything illegal. As you can see, I've got quite a bit of stuff going right now. I have a few things I had gotten started on. I'm going to walk you through basically what most of these things do. Some of them I still don't understand fully myself, but I'll show you what I can and how to go about using it. First of all, the program can be found online if you type in Cain and Abel download or whatever. And if you want to run it, you're going to have to disable your Windows firewall just because it gets in the way. The higher level Windows have better encryption to stop Cain and Abel attacks. However, XP systems are pretty vulnerable to it. So, anyways, after you open up Cain and Abel, first thing you want to do is go to Configure. I've already selected it, but you want to select the one that has your IP address. If you don't know your IP address, you can always do a command prompt check with cmd and an ipconfig, which will give you your local IP address. Also keep in mind I'm doing a local attack. I'm not I have no idea where to start when it comes to attacking somebody that's not on your router. So, I've selected the one that has my IP address and clicked OK. Now, the first thing here is decoders. This is for the system passwords and everything that's on your local system. You can click cached password, protected storage. Not sure where it's pulling passwords from because I don't have any showing up. The LSA passwords, I believe, have to do with email program, but I'm not entirely sure. You have wireless passwords, which are stored in your computer, Internet Explorer passwords if you use any of them, dial-up. The dial-up passwords are bringing up my VPN passwords, which is interesting. I don't know why that's under the dial-up section. Anyways, we have edit boxes. I don't know what these last three things are either. For cracking passwords, there's the cracker section. We'll get to that in a second, but that's where you would get like your Windows password and things like that you would be looking for. Okay, so moving on, we go to network. I have taken the liberty of accessing a computer over the network already. What you want to do first is click out in the open, or click entire network, and click the plus sign. Then you put in the computer name or IP address. I haven't tried it with the name because the IP address is so convenient. I'll let you know how to gather IP addresses on your local network in the next section. So just remember that this is where you would put it. From there, it'll bring up a little computer here with the IP address. So you can right-click it, click Connect As, in order to put in a username and password that has access to that computer, if you know it. If not, you can just have it connect by double-clicking it, or this would be connect. And it will attempt to access it using blank credentials, and on older systems it would go through a process of accessing using anonymous credentials. However, with Windows Vista and better, I believe that's no longer an option. I think XP might also be protected against that, but if you have somebody who's on Windows 98 or 2000 or something, this should get it. And what it gives you, here, hold on, let me log in again. Okay. Gives you access to groups that are on the system that you're accessing. Gives you access to the users. Sadly, I couldn't get access to the registry. That would have been nice. But I believe since it's a Windows 7 system, I'm unable to get into those things from here. Same thing with services. Now, the share section allows you to access folders and things that are shared on the shared files and folders that are from that computer, but the computer I'm accessing doesn't have that, doesn't have anything shared currently, so I'm unable to access anything. Anyways, moving on. The next section is probably the main thing people use Cain and Abel for. It's the sniffer section. It starts out with hosts, which if you right click and click scan MAC addresses, first you have to activate the sniffer, which is here, this button, and you right click and scan MAC addresses. I have it run in promiscuous mode, however it's not completely necessary. Promiscuous mode allows you to be seen, so it gives you a lot more freedom and you can get a lot more information. But if somebody were to look for you, they could find you when you're in when you have your network card in promiscuous mode. And I forgot to clear the list, but all of these things are what it will find. It takes too long to run it over again. Okay, well, let me remove all so I can show you guys running it again. Also, the little plus here will allow you to max scan as well. Okay, so we have Cisco router that I've got running right now. Sony Computer Entertainment is probably the PS3 that's on the system. There's a Dell, and there should also be one more. Of course, I don't remember what it was from, so maybe it's just something passing by. There used to be a multicast group 2. I wonder where it went. Anyways, okay, so from here, you get the IP address for the router. And you also get access to these, or you get to see what the IP addresses and MAC addresses are for these systems. What we can do with that is we can go to the APR section, and we're going to start what is called APR poisoning. I'm going to turn that on, and then come to the APR section. I'm already poisoning one, but the process of starting that is the plus sign. You select the router, IP address and MAC address, and then you come in here and you select the system you want to go after to find out what they're doing on their on the network. Click OK, and it's already doing that one. This is the router address, and this is the victim address. And it begins poisoning. I don't know everything about this full routing and half routing idea, but it doesn't affect what I want to get. So, alrighty, here I have a lot of certificates already completed. What it does when you start poisoning is it creates certificates for the different websites, so that when the victim accesses a website, it'll come to us, use our certificate, and then give them the website from the network. So they still see what they want to see, however we also get to see what they're looking at. For example, they went to these websites here. Okay, so with this information we can come down to passwords, and anytime they do anything, it will show us what's going on here. A lot of it is a bunch of nonsense. But, for example, when they make a search straight into the toolbar, or into the URL bar, will come out here. And here we can see the URL, it did a Yahoo search. Then we have, we put this in chronological order. There. What? It's not chronological. This is the one. And that's it. Anyways, that's strange. Let me. Okay, well. Oh, and way at the bottom. That we do. Here is the most recent stuff that's going on. We have some things here. Alright. Sadly, in all the time I've had this running, I haven't gotten access to any passwords. However, it has shown me every website he's gone to. So, moving on. Yeah, I've been hacking you for the last like 3 hours. Now, I did find out that it does alert the user if they try to directly go to a website and they're using Google Chrome. I don't think it would do it with Firefox or Internet Explorer, but Google Chrome gave him a pop-up telling him that somebody may have been viewing his communication with the router. Now, if anyone was watching a system and the user that was being watched knew anything about hacking, they would immediately be alerted and know to take action. Anyways, yeah, now that he's realized that I was watching him, gone to things like Facebook, I don't know what these ad yielder things are, Newsroom, let's see, we have blogger.com, Twitter, Tumblr. Okay, well, just in case we got any passwords, we can right-click, send all of them to the cracker. Then we can come over here. And, oh, forgot to mention, this VoIP thing here is for if the user is using a voice transfer system, like if they're using Skype or something, and they're talking over the network. I believe this is so that you can listen in. I haven't tested it, but when I was reading up on it, that's what it sounded like. Okay, moving on. We have the cracker. This is a very, very fun thing. If you... how did I start that? I want to cracker. Well, I guess... Okay, well, if you come here to your LM and NTLM hashes, you can right-click. And it's got all of the different hashes here. But for Windows, we're going to use the Windows hashes. You come up here, click the plus. You can import hashes from local system. And if you click next, it'll bring up, for example, in my system there's administrator, Chris, and guest. It has the password for administrator. It tells us that empty, empty. Guest is empty, empty. Now, Chris, it has a password. And in order to crack it, we could have all kinds of tools here. We have dictionary attacks, which will go through list of words in the dictionary and things like that. We have cryptanalyst attacks, which are the stronger of the three, I would say, simply because it takes into account tendencies that people do. Like, for example, let me start. Okay, so these are all for rainbow tables, which you can get online. I can't run them because I don't have them. Yeah, once they wants me to give it a rainbow table first. Anyways, the one that I did test out, and it worked after some time, is the NTLM hashes. Now, I didn't run it on my system, simply because my password, it has a lot more things than this includes. And it was up around 100 and, well, actually, let's see. In order to crack my password, it would need all of everything, I think. I can't tell what else is out there. Yeah, it would need everything. Okay. And even if somebody knew that, let's see. Okay, so my password is 10 characters. Even if they knew the exact number of characters that my password was, with all of this, let's see how long it would say it takes. Oh. Okay, so it would take years to crack my password, just brute forcing it like this. My password is one of the stronger ones, I would say, just because it uses lowercase, uppercase, symbols, and all of that. So you should make your password stronger, because if you're using something simple that, let's say, it only uses lowercase and numbers, you can, and if they know the number, of course the more length it is, the easier, or the more difficult, but still, let's say we started from blank and we had a whatever, a 7-character password, and we click start. Start. Okay. Let's try that again. Okay. That was odd. Okay, see, it would only take it a few hours to crack a password with just those simple things. Now, if it has to check between a certain amount, I believe I read somewhere that the average password was 5 to 10 characters in length. So, we'll show you, yeah, it takes a significantly longer amount of time to go through all of them. Now, if it runs into it, it'll stop immediately and you're good. You got the password. Okay. So, now that I've gone through that, it's also got pretty much all of the hashes. I don't know all of them, but there's a lot here. Oh, don't look at that. Well, I'll edit that out because I don't want you to see my password. Anyways. The trace route feature, I'm still not sure what it does. When I tried, it couldn't find a path, and it got stuck on start. So, let's move on to the next section. We have, oh, what was this? It had something to do with routers. CCDU. This thing here is useful. You can crack router passwords using web injection if you have a wireless card that can inject packets. You can get the WPA stuff and send it to the cracker using this as well. However, my network card is not capable of doing any of this stuff, so I can't demonstrate. And the last thing I believe is for, I'm not entirely sure what the query is for. Anyways, the most important thing that we used was the sniffer and the cracker, which make getting passwords and stuff really easy. So, thank you for watching my video, and remember, use this for ethical things, not just attacking your little brother, who's actually my big brother. Here, I'll show you. He's giant. Okay. Thanks for watching. Check out my my computer forensics video as well. It goes over a pretty neat tool. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.